Hi everyone, my name is Jacob from TVQC and Extreme Cinema Reviews, and today I am with the incredible minds behind this sensational movie Chainsaws Were Singing. Hi, how's it going today?
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's been going great. We love Fantasia. It's been just such a great experience here, and the whole crew of the festival is just amazing.
What did you think of the audience's reaction?
I mean, the audience went wild. Yeah, which was sort of what we dreamed would happen, and it did. So yeah, it was really great seeing that the film works for an international audience as well.
Yeah,
with the subtitles.
Was the audience reaction comparable to the audience in Estonia?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, actually it was. Yeah, we had 2 screenings back in April, which was the world premiere at the Haapsalu Horror and Film Festival.
Like our local home festival in Estonia. Yeah.
But again, wild roaring laughter, applauses. Although I'd say the Canadian public was even more generous with the applauses.
Yeah.
Because if I recall correctly, back in Estonia, the applauses only were after musical numbers and in one scene. But the folks here started clapping right away, which was amazing.
Also in Estonia, we didn't have people clapping along to a song. This happened here. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was very great. I had such a good time for real watching it with the Fantasia's audience.
Yeah.
How long did it take to make Chainsaws Were Singing?
Short answer, 10, 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's so weird because if you hear that number, you think that, okay, so you were shooting on weekends, blah, blah, blah. But no, we shot it all during the summer of 2013, some shooting days, and also in autumn. Yeah, we had like 64 shooting days and then 10 years in post-production, which is something psychologically definitely everyone should do.
And I just want to point out that the 10 years in post-production, it wasn't like Sander was like doing it on the side or anything. He had full work days, like just constantly doing it. It wasn't a side project. It was the main project for the whole 10 years.
And I can understand that you also did the score for the film.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of classical pieces there, but yeah, mostly I wrote the songs and did the orchestrations, plus there's a couple of reprises. And you know how whenever you watch a movie, the end credits start rolling and you enter cinema? I had to do that. I had to make the music for the ending credits as well, which took me about a couple of months of just editing different pianos together. So yeah, that was kind of tough. Figuring out how musical orchestration works, because I'd never done that before. But I was sort of guided by the fact that I had written the songs. Plus, I sort of knew where I was supposed to be going with it. So it sort of gave me the additional powers that I didn't have in terms of there's just no technical skills there whatsoever.
And have you searched for feedback, since you mentioned having no technical skills and doing the music? Have you been looking for feedback from a professional to know if there was some changes to be done?
I don't know. So far, none whatsoever. In Estonia, we received very good feedback, especially on the music. It's just an illusion of working music. If you go inside the projects, you'll see that I had no idea what I'm doing. So if you listen to the tracks separately, it's just ugly and bad, technically.
No, but
awful MIDI.
The end result is awesome. I'm just a huge fan of the movie myself as well. Someday in the future, the songs will be available online. And I gotta say, actually, the ending credits, like background music, I think that's the best piece of music in the entire movie. It takes all the emotions, the anger, the love, everything of the previous songs together. And it's like goosebumps awesome.
Right here, I have to give a shout out to Rando Arand for being an excellent sound mixer guy, because he sort of enhanced the music in a good way in terms of making it sound more vintage EE and less bad computer MIDI.
Wow.
Yeah,
And can we consider it as a splatter film or like
obviously. I mean, there's splatting all around, and not just of blood. uh, if you recall the film, there's a scene with with some tribesmen and a bukkake fridge. So there's not only blood that's being splattered around.
And can you guys tell me more about the craftsmanship of the props, finding the location, costumes?
I mean, it was a rebel shoot in that we didn't have a makeup person or an art designer, whatever, in the first 3 or 4 weeks we shot it. So the first time we had a makeup artist was when we had our first day with the female lead, Laura Niels. Before that, we were just a bunch of bros shooting weird stuff. So yeah, it was a really guerrilla process. We were basically, it was a classical example of everybody does everything. I shot most of the thing, and also as Sven-Erik Menma and Tanel Bet were called. Also, we handed the camera to whoever's hands were bloody at the time, and the same was for the audio boom. Whoever could do it would just do it.
In many days, it was just like 5 people on the set. Everyone's holding something, and
Wow.
Yeah, it was all volunteers and friends and family. So yeah, when we were shooting it, we always would say, "Oh fuck it, it's straight on video," so that we wouldn't have this huge obligation to have it work. So that was really liberating. And also we said, let's sweat about it in post on the shoot, so that we wouldn't worry during the shoot. And then it was 10 years of post production.
And the little fella with the crossbow.
Yeah, he's sitting right here.
Yeah, that's crazy. How old are you right now?
I'm 23.
23.
Yeah,
Wow. And you were?
I was 13 or 12. Yeah.
Wow.
Since that, I finished middle school, high school, university.
Military service.
My army conscription just ended. I did a year in the army. It's the mandatory in Estonia for men.
Wow.
And I'm here now.
How do you feel like seeing you on the big screen in a festival?
Festival? I don't know. I always think that I look just so silly and clumsy. Yeah, but as I said before, I'm a huge fan of the movie myself, and it's I enjoy all the screenings. It's so cool.
Fun fact: he's in the film actually as an adult as well. If you recall the shootout sequence with the police officers, he's also there in a brief shot when he's
like half a
21 years
second.
old.
Yeah,
As a 21-year-old.
I think my favorite shot that you're in is when you do the painting and then you look so surprised and there's like an inception in the painting.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the. I have a couple of my favorite personal jokes in the film just because of the technical build-up of it, and so this joke was built up for about 5 minutes or so, and the punchline is just so on point.
Yeah.
The other one is I didn't want to give away spoilers here, but the younger police officer, how he dies, is sort of a punchline in the making for about 30 minutes or so.
And you guys won 2 awards, public prize and also the best Estonian genre picture.
That was amazing back in April.
Yeah.
How do you feel about going already 2 prize in your early screenings?
I mean, the track record was sort of unexpected that you one festival, 2 prizes. It usually doesn't work that way. It was. It was awesome.
I'm pretty sure that you're gonna win public choice as well here.
Let's see.
That would be awesome.
My vote already went for you. So
nice. We
Thank you.
appreciate that.
I think the main problem is it's not the biggest hall that the screening goes in. That's the only downside. Otherwise, maybe.
And there were too many people, and I was like, why isn't it in the the big room for a big screening? Because that was a big screening material.
Yeah. But we have to hand it out to Justine Smith, who even
yeah.
believed in the film, because before that there was no pre-approval that it would even work, because no, we hadn't seen it with an international audience. So yeah, it's so cool that she selected the film. We're so excited. The second screening is going to be on Friday.
Yeah, it's sold out already.
Yeah.
The second one as well. That's cool.
How was the writing process?
The writing process. Okay. Did I say that at the Q&A as well?
Yeah.
About the writing? Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Anyway, so I grew up writing scripts in high school, where the teacher was doing the thing with the blackboard and was being boring, and so I would escape from the classroom's unnecessarily boring education stuff into my little script writing. So I would just write things and not ignore, and just would ignore the teacher what they were doing. So when high school ended, I had a problem that I couldn't write anything at home. So I would just crash into the university's public lectures, masquerading as a student with a laptop. And it was so liberating, not having to worry about anything they were talking about near the blackboard, and just that was the only way I could focus. So I wrote the entire script for about 2 months. I would crash the public courses there, and it was so cool when the lecturer said that, "Yo, next week you're gonna have a big exam," and I was like, "Not me. I'm so free of this."
And how did you make the CGI effects?
Technically, there's no CGI in it, in the sense that it's not computer generated imagery, but there's VFX in the sense that it's 2D visual effects, but nothing that AI did. Back in the day, AI didn't even exist, I believe. But yeah, I did all the VFX basically, and there's a lot of it, about 350 VFX shots. Most of it is just a sky replacement or making things look prettier, or undoing the cinematography fuck-ups, so that there was we had burnt out the sky. It was way too white, so I had to go into other takes of the shot and replace all the roofs and stuff. So basically it was just covering my ass. But yeah, the explosions and all the stuff, it took about 1.5 years.
A fun fact, when you see mountains in the background, there are no mountains in Estonia. So that's all him. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
wow!
Well, I think I went insane at some point and just sort of started adding mountains just because I could. Yeah.
And were there any injuries that happened on set?
Only one we can recall. The person on the chainsaw ass kill image that represents the film, Jan Andersson, who was also one of the producers and the guy who was responsible for the blood gore effects. He was one of the characters in Killer's Happy Song who tried not to get hit by a van. So he was riding a bicycle and had to jump over with it, the front brake. So he did that actually and ended up fracturing his shoulder. And so he was out for about 2 weeks or so. So yeah, that was a serious injury.
And if you had 3 words to describe Chainsaws Were Singing, what would you say?
I mean, firstly, I would use the title, Chainsaws Were Singing. Other than that, fun, naughty, nice.
Fun. And you?
Definitely fun, but I'd also say emotional and bloody. Yeah.
And what was the creative process behind your character? Did you have you thought to yourself like, oh, I have to read a script, or I'm just gonna have fun and make up a character and let's have fun?
Since I was so young, I think Sander and Gore, our third brother, mostly directed me and like you should try to be like that, and a lot of it is just how I was back then. I've throughout the years I've thought about like many places like I could be much more believable right now in terms of acting. But yeah, I've said it before in interviews. But yeah, I was just chilling with my older brothers, hanging out, creating a movie. It was like really nice time for me.
And it was, free labor for us because when you hire a child actor, you can only shoot for 2 hours or so. But with us, we just ask our mother, "Is it fine? Yeah, fine. Bring him home in like 3 weeks."
Did you have very infuriating, raging moment on post production? You know, like doing in the editing and the software crash, or
Yes, all the time. Yes, yes. At one point, you get tired of being depressed or burnt out, so you just ignore it and you go on. Because yeah, there were a lot of moments when I was just giving up, and then I did give up, and then you just go on with it. At some point, that basically means you need a break. So the software crashes all the time. I'm glad that we got all the footage out now in the DCP, so that I don't have to go in Adobe Premiere anymore, because it's really unstable there. Yeah, I don't know what else to say there.
and what is your favorite subgenre?
I would say horror musical comedies, if they are done correct, are one of my favorites. Cannibal the Musical, Nudist Colony of the Dead, and Little Shop of Horrors. Also, there's this really, really cool genre called Pinky Violence, which is a Japanese early 70s grindhouse with women kicking ass and doing revenge, which is aesthetically so cinematic and fun. Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Al-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Also, ninja exploitation. Oh my god! With Alexander Liu and Eugene Thomas, films like Super Ninja and Ninja: The Final Duel. They're like incredible mixes of really, really bad acting and dubbing, and actually awesome kung fu, and just the way ninjas run is just so funny. Definitely check out Super Ninja and Ninja: The Last Duel.
For me, yeah, horror musicals and some musicals in general. Yeah, as Cannibal the Musical, awesome. Little Shop of Horrors is awesome. Then the South Park movie, South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut. I think that's like probably my favorite
One of
thing
the
ever.
best musicals ever made, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because it's packed so tight, and it's just so concise
Yeah,
with everything
yeah.
they do.
In addition, some just like color in movies. For the one of the newer ones, the Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like wow, I was so blown away in the cinema. Just absolutely insane. And on older movies, Suspiria. I don't like the movie's plot, but the color is really really cool. I mean, he knows a lot more
that's
about
the
that.
thing
but-
about the films. Look, I'm so frustrated whenever I'm watching a modern horror film, and I have to. They've desaturated the image so much that in the player I have to resaturate it myself. So I go about 250% on the saturation just to make it look natural. But I like the older movies where the colors were strong, and also Hobo with a Shotgun, and films where the sky is actually blue and the blood is actually red. So I think colorful movies are like
Yeah.
just way more positive and fun to watch.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that I really loved the aesthetic of Chainsaws Were Singing because it kind of reminds me the grindhouse effect. You know, Hobo with a Shotgun,
Yeah.
Planet Terror, Death Proof.
Planet Terror is also one of my all-time favorite films.
But I think it's just clever, and it is so aesthetic to oversaturate the color sometimes because it makes it stand out much more.
Yeah, but no, the truth be told, it was the only way we could hide the fact that actually the images looked awful. So that's why it took 2 years in color correction, because the initial cut when we saw it on the big screen, oh my god, it was really bad.
Oh.
Cheap video, and the burnt out skies and stuff out of focus. So it needed a lot of restoration in that sense. And yeah. We were at the point where I'd already spent 7 or 8 years in the film, so I figured 2 years in color correction, might as well do that now.
And do you have any release date in mind?
Release dates in terms of what?
Um, letting this masterpiece out for the public to see?
I mean, we're going to do festivals for at least a year and a half because personally, after 10 years spending alone in post, I want to hear some laughter and I want to watch it with crowds. So yeah, at first we're doing festivals, then probably some sort of VOD deals and Blu-ray. And whereas cinematic run, we have no idea how international works. We're going to do our cinematic run hopefully in Estonia at the end of this year.
Estonia is going to be the main focus anyway, because the movie's in Estonian, and so yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're open to all sorts of offers, but yeah, we're just learning how to navigate this part of the filmmaking process because we've never done anything like this before. So yeah, we're not even professional filmmakers or whatnot. We just made a movie.
He loves saying that.
Yeah, but yeah, as fans of these sorts of films, exploitation films, to watch with an audience, yeah, we made a film for exactly that niche of fantastic film festivals.
Are you thinking about your next project? Do you have any ideas of what to do after this?
I've thought about it throughout the years. I've been answering the same question. At one point, I stopped answering it because it didn't make sense. We're still stuck on this project for a while. Yeah, trying to have it sold and whatever the hell sold means at this point. Just getting it out. I've had ideas over the years, but it sort of depends on what our lives reality, what my life's reality is going to be like. So, what offers we have and where and in what language. I really don't think it's wise to do a 2 hour long B-movie musical in Estonian. It doesn't make sense distribution wise.
I didn't see the. I mean, time flies so fast. I didn't
Yeah.
see the 2 hours. I felt like it was an hour.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it is too long for a genre film, but there's not a dull moment in it. So it's just it feels too long, but the scenes go by quickly, and that's why I was meticulous in the editing, so that I hate it when scenes drag on for like I don't know 5 or 6 minutes. So I made sure that every 2 minutes at least something fun happens.
And do you know the next festival that is going to play your movie?
That's the tricky part. We have festivals lined up, but we can't announce them publicly.
Oh, we
yet.
can actually. The
yeah.
very next one we can.
Yeah.
It's start to love
Hard
festival.
to Love Film Festival.
Yeah.
We got into a Love Film Festival,
Oh,
which is kind
wow.
of funny for a genre film that's this naughty.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's back in Estonia. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge open screening with in the town. In the
Like town center or square. Yeah.
And it's an outside screening, a midnight one, and chances are there's going to be like 1,000 people or so.
Probably more. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, some of the big fantastic film festivals are lined up, but we can't announce them publicly yet. But definitely check out chainsawsweresinging.com, where we're updating all the info and all the social media stuff is.
Yeah, well, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, these things. But yeah, on chainsawsweresinging.com, there's a festival schedule. Right now it has only like 3 or 4 entries, but in August there are gonna be many, many more that will be announced.
Okay, great. And because it's a love story, right?
It is a love story, yeah.
So how was it to write all of these fun lyrics, and how was the chemistry between the lovebird and Tom?
I mean, it was great. They were just both very good actors, and I don't know if professional is the right word, but friendly and helpful, and they really wanted to go all in on it. Tom, Carl Joseph Hill was one of the co-producers, and the guy who plays Tom also developed the story with me, so he was invested in it. It was his idea to make the Tom character a bit of a wuss, so he's sort of soft-spoken. He thought it would be funnier. But the love story, I mean, I always thought, this is a weird thing to say, but I always thought in a love story, you sort of have to fall in love as a viewer. So it has to be believable and cute. So that's what I tried to achieve there. And also the love story really stemmed out of the point that we at first we only had the killer character. Then we realized we had to have something worth saving or some stakes there, and so that's where we came up with the love story. Plus, we were making our first feature. There were a lot of checklists. Okay, let's do car explosions. Let's do a car chase. Okay, there has to be a love song. There has to be like a chainsaw sequence. So we were just hitting checklists of all the weird stuff that we wanted to do in a film. Also, an exotic tribe has to be in the film.
And what is your favorite scene of the movie and why?
I think for me it's one of the three. It's either the tribe or just the medley part. Or it's gonna sound stupid, but I just love the ending credits. How it like goes through the whole movie, the music. It's I love it.
Personally, I'd say it's so hard to choose because I've so intimately been in the details making it happen. So I see all only if I was successful in my endeavor. But I'd say the medley part, which is the song where all the other songs line up and sort of form a whole near the end of the movie, is one of my favorites, just because it sort of sums up the entire film. But other than that, I'm really, really proud of the chainsaw solo, which is a great idea, almost mandatory if you're making a chainsaw killer musical. But it was kind of tough to come up with the specifics of it.
I have never seen something like this. A chainsaw solo. It's so
Yeah.
clever.
So the Jan Anderson, the guy who was the Chainsaw Ass Kill guy, said, "Dude, you stole that from Cannibal the Musical. They have a musical number, and at some point someone says cowbell solo and just starts doing this."
Gling gling gling.
Yeah, but I mean, a chainsaw solo is a bit more tough to actually produce.
How many fake blood did you use?
Okay, so obviously it was a fun shoot, but it was a nightmare of a shoot. So obviously no one was keeping tabs on anything. So we had a lot of blood. We were producing it on as we went. There were, I believe, 4 different types of blood. So one was the little injury that's already dried up. So that was one blood we had to do. So then there was this edible blood that wasn't straight up poisonous, although it was a little bit. We can say now. Then there was the splashy blood that went through the hoses. And then there was bucket blood. So if you recall near the end of the film with the railway sequence, that was the bucket blood part, where we just had a bucket full of blood and just threw it.
Yeah, I remember in our home basement, there were just like not 6 packs, but like big packs and buckets of just like ketchup and food coloring and syrup and stuff that they mixed the blood up from. And the railway sequence when my character gets like blood just thrown in my face. I think it was like 2 or 3 buckets. There was only one shot of this. I guess we could do it only once. That was a lot of blood.
Yeah, I could comment a bit on the gore part. Basically, when people back in 2013, the gore effects in Estonia weren't really developed. So the art production designers were sort of working on it, and it would end up costing a lot of money just to have like one hand. But then I realized that wait, there's like Halloween and all the props and stuff available to purchase online. What the hell's up with that? So I just went on eBay and bought a bunch of fake plastic hands and fingers and eyes, put them in the movie, and it works. And it cost us like, I don't know, $20 altogether to have the chopped up finger stuff and that to work. So it was like a life hack almost as a filmmaker to not have someone custom make the stuff, or just use the ones that you can buy for really cheap online. Yeah.
And this is crazy how much love you have put in the movie.
I'd also say I have a lot of hate in the film. I always see that I don't. Okay, at one point, I realized that I sort of hate boring drama so much that I wanted to do the exact opposite of that. So basically, the decisions were mostly guided by hate towards bad horror films that are like bad, and also serious dramas that are boring to watch, and also stupid musicals that are really annoying. So yeah, I was actually driven by hate.
Did you go to a comedy school or?
What comedy school?
Yeah.
A film school, you mean?
Oh, well, yeah, a film school, but I mean, the lyrics and the dialogue are so funny, and I thought to myself, maybe you went to comedy school
Wait,
or.
I don't. Is comedy even taught anywhere? Is that a thing?
Definitely not, definitely not in Estonia.
Oh, okay. Because here there's a comedy school, and
Oh, that's cool.
and in the U.S. as well. But
I mean, okay. When I was younger, I was really rebellious about everything. Right now, that rebellious spirit has sort of just been replaced with age. So, no, definitely back in the day, I would. I remember Robert Rodriguez's quote on being a filmmaker. He says, "If you want to be a filmmaker, you're a filmmaker, but you're gonna suck at first. So become a better one. You don't go to school to learn to become a filmmaker. The way you don't become a kick-ass rock star by going to a kick-ass rock star school. You just have to practice, practice, practice until your fingers bleed." So that was something I sort of lived by, and I went to film school actually. I was there for about a year, but I hated the fact that we had to defend each and every one of our decisions to a mostly art house jury who were suggesting when we wanted to do a violent, fun scene, maybe you don't show the violence, maybe you just hear it. So yeah, we really felt liberated when we decided to go full guerrilla, full just indie. Yeah.
do you have any do you have any plans for next? Do you want to be an actor as a living? What do you want to do?
Huh. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I actually have a bachelor's in computer science. I've been sort of in the IT field for 4 years now. For the next year, I'm helping out with the movie, and I don't know where my life goes. I'd be super happy if I end up somewhere a programmer, but also super happy if I end up being a part of this type of movies and festivals. It's so much fun. It's awesome. So yeah, I live and see.
And does people recognize you guys in Estonia?
No, no, no.
No.
Yeah, the whole project in Estonia was, it was shot and produced in secrecy with no, we weren't affiliated with the official production people whatsoever outside of the industry. So it was sort of a surprise for people. When was this made? What the hell? Yeah, right now the film is sort of gaining momentum, especially after the world premiere, which was very successful. Now the Love Festival, and now our involvement in Fantasia is also getting headlines in Estonia, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping to do a cinematic release in Estonia, but yeah, we have no funds whatsoever to do that right now, so we just have to use the free publicity from all sorts of headlines in this interview, perhaps.
And what was your reaction when Fantasia said, we want to pick your movie and you're gonna go like international and go to Canada and
I mean, it was a dream of mine that to have this film accepted here. So it was I remember it was a very cool day. It was actually we received news from two of the major fantastic film festivals on the same day, around the same day when the world premiere happened. So it was a really surreal moment for us. But so cool to be here, and the festival is just so different from the one where we've been to in Haapsalu, Estonia, where it's only one house and everything is sort of pointed towards one direction. But here it's sort of scattered around town, and then you think, wait, where are the people? And then there's a packed house. So it's just sort of surprising that it's so different. But I love how well organized the festival is.
Yeah. All the people, like especially Justine and Becca and people who have been helping us out, it's incredible. Like everything runs so smoothly.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, and honestly, I'm saying it to you. I'm a bit harsh when it comes to film critic, but this is honestly my favorite movie of the year so far.
Oh, thanks, man. We
And
really appreciate
I've
that.
seen a bunch of them, even big, mainstream cinema. But this is just not my thing.
Mhm.
This movie is 100% my kind of movie.
Nice, nice.
So
Awesome.
And yeah, we had the feeling that it would find the audience that it was made for. So it's so nice that Fantasia is exactly the right place. Yeah. To close, I have to say, folks, don't try this at home. 10 years in post production is not something you do what you want to be doing. Just don't do it.
you can follow Chainsaws Were Singing on Instagram, chainsawsweresinging.com, and also
Facebook as well. I think it's Chainsaws Were Singing or something
Yeah.
along the lines.
Okay.
I think Twitter is
Twitter is Chainsaw Musical.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
Chainsaw
Yeah.
Musical on Twitter.
and do you have like Instagram accounts or
Yeah,
stuff?
Instagram as well.
Yeah.
It's all Chainsaws Were Singing, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Right.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks so much for having us.